Hello. It's JY, and welcome to our very first episode of TalkShop podcast under the Singapore Podcast Group. Here at TalkShop, we invite startup founders, business owners, and industry leaders to talk about their stories, struggles, and insights that shape Singapore's entrepreneurial landscape. And hopefully gives them the extra push to take the leap of faith into chasing their hopes and dreams. So for today's guest, let's welcome Mr. Dennis Poh, the founder of a corporate secretary company named Legacy Consulting. Legacy. So I got to know from Dennis that a lot of different people pronounce the names differently. So maybe we'll get into that a little bit later. So they are a company based in Singapore, which started in 2020, right? Or was it 2019?
That was actually we changed our form quite a few times. So
Okay.
that's actually the business started around 2015 actually.
Oh shit, okay.
So it's way back. It's just it came under different name. We rebranded, we shift, we restructure. We just adapt according to situation.
But end of the day, you guys were still the same, doing the same form of business? Or
Yes.
Okay, so it's still a CorpSec ever since 2015. So that's good.
2015. Yeah, started from CorpSec, but then eventually we scale up, right? Then naturally one thing leads to another. People that was using our corporate secretarial service needed accounting also. So we are now an accounting firm also.
Okay.
Yeah, and also interestingly, we shift from being a company, we became a partnership also because just partners coming on board, and then we just have to adapt to situation that clients was like telling us also, you billing from this side, that side. Oh, I'm very confused, So, I have to adapt according to situation, right? And we're just like seeing that this is becoming like a platform, so we need to adapt to that. So we have to apply what we advise people to ourselves also. That's the case.
I see. I love it that Dennis is jumping straight into the
Can't wait,
podcast.
right?
Can't wait, right? But let me finish my intro of Dennis first. Okay. So Legacy is a company devoted to providing the most powerful tools and right support system to founders to access the market in Asia more easily.
Yes.
That was in the LinkedIn lah. So basically,
right.
I copy and paste the thing lah. So I think it's accurate. Huh?
Very accurate.
Very accurate. Okay. So Dennis is the business consultant to over 400 startups.
Companies actually overall.
Companies, okay, 400 over companies, guiding them through the journey of accounting, tax, investor relations, and corporate compliance. So basically, the whole set of things, the whole suite.
The base.
Okay, the base. But the businesses, they have to do it themselves.
That's right.
Okay, that's nice. So Dennis is happily married for 8 years,
Yes.
right? So very, very happy wife, very happy life, I assume. I hope so.
I just came back from Vietnam. Right?
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
So,
How's that like for? Is it like different?
The cross border kind of I guess like relationship, right? It's not like we live apart. It's just that you literally living in two different cultures. We mix, right? I think we found our good niche in that sense. We fuse, right? That culture. I mean, of course, we're talking about like food. Talking about like how do you like handle each other's like differences and all this also, right? So I think it's great. Like it's just like something I never imagined I would be like happening. Of course, nobody would imagine. Yeah, but yeah, it's I think it's a good like I can't just say it's a good experience.
No, okay, yes,
I'll get into
yes.
trouble. My wife will gonna get me. Yeah.
So your wife stays in Vietnam and then you stay in Singapore?
No, it's just like we stay together, but just that we travel a lot, between the Singapore and Vietnam. Just we fly in between Singapore and Ho Chi Minh.
Okay. So you take the airplane like you take bus lah.
Oh, yeah, something like that. Nowadays it's so easy, right? So
Yeah, it is, man. The world is shrinking lah after the internet was invented, and especially when internet speeds got really fast.
Yeah.
Then that's where things took a big change lah, I suppose.
correct.
Okay, so let's dive right into the first episode of TalkShop. So I wanted this first episode to be about Dennis because you are handling a lot of companies, right? So you are probably the best person to do the first episode of TalkShop because we want to talk about Singaporean businesses, right? And inspire people to take the leap of faith and do businesses themselves. So you as a CorpSec who have had a lot of experience with a lot of different kind of companies,
Yes.
right here in Singapore. So you have 400 on your wing. still now as well, or you already reached the 500 mark?
Someday you start like you sort of stop counting exactly the numbers. You know about that range because the numbers just keep going. I'm talking about weeks.
Okay.
Yeah, so keeping track is definitely one thing I need to do, right? But I dare say it's like I mean businesses comes and go, and especially nowadays, this is not easy days. So we see a lot of like businesses also fall, right? With the latest news, with like increasing in costs and stuff like that also. So I say it's about like 400-ish. The numbers don't really go too far away from that. And I think that's also related to like capacity, or, us choosing clients in a sense, right? That we want to serve for the best. So we have to make sure that that capacity is met, So that along that line. So it's 400-ish like that. Yeah.
Okay. Then that's great. So CorpSec is a very interesting business to go into because imagine my friends, like we want to do our business, you say, oh, I want to do a F&B lah, I want to do a bar lah, that kind of thing. So what made you go into CorpSec? Okay, before we go into that, today we are here at the Brooklyn Bar. So
Yes.
it's a F&B establishment that I have. So hopefully that we are using up the space. We're not taking up too much of not making too much of a mess of the space. Then my staff wouldn't complain when I come in later lah. So what made you start this CorpSec business?
Okay, it definitely came from my own expertise, right? I mean, this is in fact my very first skills that I picked up when I went into working, right? So I started after Polytechnic. I went to Raja and Tan actually.
Okay.
Right? So that was my internship, and then also in fact that was where I worked for my first few years. Doing the scope of like corporate secretarial governance, and sometimes a bit of paralegal work also. So we do like research for certain clients and stuff like that.
So when you were studying, you were into, what were you studying before?
Accounting,
So you started from accounting and then after that got into
corporate secretarial. That was like a year 3 thing. Then you have to pick. And for the fun of like sharing also, right? Now I'm actually lecturing company law in Ngee Ann Poly. We're back in my alma mater.
Okay. So you were from Ngee Ann Poly.
That's right.
Okay. So did you take up law along the way, or was like
It's
part of the course? No.
It's like a compulsory course.
Oh wow. Okay.
But it's just one law module, right? But like I got so sort of like you can say I got into it lah. Right? I was doing it. This is like I'm very good at this. I feel like this is like
Gonna
my
sue some people.
Yeah. No, not the kind. It's more of like I think it's the internship that I got into from Poly, right? From Ngee Ann Poly itself, was quite helpful in a sense like you got to do like 3 to 6 months of or 4 to 6 months of what you'll be doing if you pick that industry, right? So as I was doing that, then I realized it's starting it will be like very librarian.
Okay. Yes, I can imagine.
Yeah, and I'm that kind of bit like you can say sometimes a bit OCD lah. Like I need to tidy up things.
Oh my
right?
gosh.
So I need everything must be like if you go to my office, right? So my office is just across the road from the bar, right?
Okay. Yes.
And you'll see my desk, and there's nothing on my desk. That's the most one monitor. That's it. Not even my laptop. Like so that's what I go for kind. So when I was doing my internship, that the first thing was like, okay, you gotta tidying things up. Right?
Yes.
You gotta be very good at organizing things.
Okay.
And I think the thing is, I remember there was not a lot of accountants that want to pick that because they were like, this is like admin,
Sure.
It's
Yes.
not just accounting.
Yes.
I just fall in love with it. I when I get to tidy things up, right, and sort it in like orders and stuff, then I feel like, oh, there's that satisfaction,
Okay, so speaking up of tidying things up. So to my understanding of a CorpSec, because we use CorpSec services as well, but it's the very basic type. Like they do a bit of accounting, they do my AGMs, and I just sign.
That's
and
right.
I don't know what I'm signing, so I know I need to sign it once a year. You know, that is my impression of CorpSec services. So
see.
when you say about tidying up, so is that what CorpSec is all about?
At the base, I feel it's that. I mean, tidying up, but there's also like this thing about if tidying up actually implies something that's messy. So I don't hope that it'll be like that.
Sure, yes.
So how I take care of the clients, make sure when you come in, there's sort of like a category really.
What do you mean by category? What do you mean when you say when they come in, there is a certain category? What do you mean? Like you put them into different boxes, they belong somewhere, or
More of when they come in, there is actually like a structure. So there's like this file structures, and then there's sequence, there's like steps, there's also things that you need to take note of. So when customer comes to us, let's say when we help to set up the business, right? From day one, when they go into like say the folders, they will see, okay, there's like aircraft filing, there's IRAS filing stuff, there's like accounting folder. So it's very tidy. So when they see that, also then we tell them, okay, then you just make sure end of the financial year, and you need to do this, you need to do that. Everything has an order.
okay.
Yeah.
So from what I can understand from you is that the corporate secretary work is more of like, okay, we guide you through the steps of proper bookkeeping for the company, as well as all the, I would say, lack of a better word, the paperwork that involves behind the company. So how does a corporate secretary business stand out from different businesses? You know, so everyone's doing the same thing, because I tell you need to do this, then need to do this. You get what I mean?
I like that question. Actually, recently, sometimes people come, people go. I hear opinions where people actually, like investors' perspective is Corpsec is Corpsec. What's so special about it, right? I think the thing is, for me, I look at it more of like how deep you can go into it, like how obsessed you can go into it. So it's to me is so like I was talking about that OCD thing. Right? I know it's not a good reference to keep going to that. In that sense, you want things to be run like, so for me is how do I make a structure like in things in order, right? That is so easy for like business owner to understand. Oh, you need to take care of these practices, right? Basic things set up properly, right?
Yes.
And then you move from there. Then you don't think about it. In fact, is once you don't think about it, then that's where that simple structure actually work. But if we need to talk about it, then I'm talking about what? So that's the difference. Like for me that's how I look at it, like corporate secretarial wise.
Yes. So could you elaborate on that? Like when you say want to talk about, because for me, it's very hard for me to understand that. Okay, so I engage your company versus I can engage another corporate corpsec company. What would be the difference? Like on tangible terms, something that on for sure, like say, you were to do a pitch to me, say that, hey, you bro, you should use my corpsec instead of other people or whoever the hell you're using. What would be that pitch?
I see. I guess it's more hands-on experience with us. I think very important also. At the end of the day, we need to know what type of business we are, right? We are essentially service business. So to me, one of the biggest differentiation here, right, will be who is the one that's serving you.
So the human touch for you is the most important
critical.
one.
Yeah, that's why our number is only like this. We only have like 400 each, right? Because at the same time, we have partners, like junior partners that are qualified, right? Serving the clients, supporting, but very importantly, not just like I say, it's not just the basic, right? It's not just about I need to just file my AG and stuff, but even above that, when certain things I say it gets more complicated, more in depth, right? Then the partners they're serving must be able to answer. For our side, we even the managing partners like myself and my buddy, the managing partner for accounting and tax, right, is actually in every other group chat.
I see. Okay, because I think I can kind of resonate to that, because one of the corpsecs that I used before, it was more like if I needed something, I call them up, right? And then I call them, hey, I need to do this, need to do that. Of course, yes, granted, they do all your usual bookkeeping, your AGM and all that kind of stuff. But anything else, they'll be like, oh, you don't say, I don't do.
Yeah.
So I will imagine Dennis, your side is like, okay, bro, this is something that you need to take note. You tell the customers, right? This is something you need to take note. And then, okay, instead of you having to come to us to wait for your instructions, we tell you that, okay, you need to take note of this now because of why. So that's what you are actually doing to service your clients.
That's right.
Okay, I think that's great, man. So you also talk about, okay, so CorpSec, you have helped a lot of companies register, all the ACRA and all the stuff like that. What is the weirdest company name you have ever registered for?
Wow. Maybe I can make a interesting reference to like how Elon Musk named his
Yes.
kids, right?
Yes.
We got C numbers and alphabet that's mixed together also. Like starting with numbers and we're like, wow, what I don't even know the meaning sometimes. I get very lost. Like, okay, what is there a meaning to it? Like, yeah, to the customer, of course.
Sure.
Right?
Yes.
But like you're like looking at it, I have no idea.
How do you even pronounce
Yeah,
it
it's
in
like
the
one
first place?
A, then like two, then the kind of thing like,
Okay.
what's that? Like, so to them it has a certain symbolic meaning.
Yes, of course.
But then of course then the next question you usually will ask, right, is okay, what's the business activity you do?
Yes, actually, I'm quite curious also.
So actually the relation to it is quite important because ultimately also there's some form of branding going on.
Yes, I will agree.
Yeah, so I think it's still quite critical. I thought, maybe to clear out that part also. Most people would think like, yes, you have to find a name that has meaning to you, but at the same time, there should be certain relation to the business that you do, in that sense, because people just do that as a first search.
Okay, that's one of the weirdest companies name that you have done. So let's go on to something else, right? So we have kind of like understood your story in terms of like why you started the CopSec, what is it all about. So let's talk about what inspired you as a person to say that, hey, I want to open up my own business.
Actually, I would say like, sometimes it happens.
So you're
I
forced
felt
into
that,
it.
that
Were you forced into it?
not really forced, but
Okay.
encouraged, right? The friends all come and actually what I saw was I was actually working for a legal tech company before. So as I was working in that legal tech company, it was incubated under like accelerator.
Okay.
And I got to meet other friends. So like there was about like 10 startups incubated, but these 9 other startups are like from different part of Asia.
Okay.
Yeah. So when I talk to them, that we work late together, and then you have a few bunch of friends like these startups, right? The
So
founders.
this was when you were in uni or when you were in poly? Or after that?
Not after that, but that was before I started. So that was about like maybe 2014, 2013, around that timing lah.
Okay.
Just after like the in between of like working in law firms and then I want to try something new.
So you were like 20 plus ish lah.
Yeah, 25 I think.
That's a good age to start a business, huh?
Just whack.
Perfect only, right? Perfect.
Just
perfect. Okay. So
that itself is a big leap. From like working in law firms, I go work for a tech company, legal tech.
oh, that's true.
Right.
Okay, but it's still legal tech, right?
Yeah.
But it was gravitated more towards the tech side of stuff.
Correct.
So you mentioned this a big leap, right?
Yeah.
So you kind of took that leap of faith.
Yes.
In that sense. So what does this leap of faith mean to you?
Actually, just like breaking out from the comfort zone. Yeah. Because the comfort zone was like for me that time, before I went to the legal tech company, right, was more of like working at the back end, serving the customer. So, sometimes the client call you, then actually because that time I was quite young, right? So client would call me, then they were like, hey, 小弟, come, I need help. Like, can you help me check this? Like, can you advise me what to do? All this. So I was that 小弟 for a lot of the customers lah.
Yes.
Right? And I mean very well taken care of by the customers also. Usually it's actually the aunties.
Wow, auntie saso, ladies and gentlemen.
Secret. Right? So the thing is like from there the thing is like serving like back end, right? In that sense, to suddenly going to legal tech. I was actually hired to do product. So I have to go and sell it. I got to develop that product, that platform. And yeah, it's very fun, like something that was totally out of my comfort.
Okay, so let me get this right. So you thought that you were going into a back-end job, but then it ended up as a front-end one.
Yeah. Not really. It's like they say this may be a front-end job, right? It's a product, right? But then we needed someone that knows the industry.
Okay.
Right? So then we can be the bridge. So you're right also in a sense. Initially, I thought it could be the back end because default product
Yes,
right?
correct.
It's a back end thing. No, they need you to go in front and then, okay, start calling up the law firms. Like, okay, we run through the list, then, I learned all those like sales terms from there, right? Oh, you're going to start from lead gen, cold lead, then how to convert into warm, those stuff.
Yes. Lead generation is a science in itself.
Yeah, man.
So this leap of faith, you that's one when we were chatting, you said that you had a tattoo that talks about this leap of faith. So maybe can show it. What is it all about?
It's like way long back, right?
Yes.
In fact, I think my rebellious like state came very late. Usually like maybe 18, 19, right? Wow, I went all the way to like 20 something, right?
Yes.
And I mean, this came about like you also had something similar, and I thought, wow, that's like interesting finds, right? Yeah, it's actually on my left hand, right?
Oh, same for me, bro.
Right?
I'm also on left hand.
Because I think you need to work on this.
Yes,
right?
I need to work on my right hand. Yes.
Yeah.
So look at my left hand. Okay.
So
okay.
like there's this like a tattoo that was like a wave
Okay.
with like cubes, right? Like I call it perception actually, right?
Okay.
So it's a sort of like a breaking perception. I think I was quite arty that time also. Just like, that came up with the concept, and then because I was quite a bit into like Japanese tattoo and stuff.
Okay.
So I fused that like with like this wave and this cube design, right, into one like circle.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's like a bit like leap of faith. It's just like breaking people's perception. That was what I'm trying to.
Okay. So you were trying to tell people that you need to break out of your own mold, so to speak,
Yes.
and change their way of thinking and way of looking.
Right. It's more like a reminder to me now.
So you mentioned that in the early days, especially when you first started the company, what kind of challenges do you face? And then you were mentioning that in the beginning you need to do a lot of manpower, a lot of time.
Yeah.
Then how do you break out of it? Because I know a lot of businesses in Singapore.
Correct.
So for example, I myself did a videography company. What happened was that I realized that we needed a lot of manpower to get things done.
That's right.
And then a lot of times the clients don't want other people to shoot for them. So everything I had to do myself. Right. Then eventually I couldn't scale, and then the business doesn't fly after that. So for your side, for Legacy, right, how did you get out of that mold?
It's similar, man. I think everyone walked through the same path. I want to validate that, right? What you walk through, I walk through the same, I feel, right? It came in the part that you skill about to like 3 or 4 stuff, and then you're stuck, right? And then actually I remember more of like dealing within the team itself, like they're not stable and stuff like that, because actually at the start also you don't even know what you're doing, right? The kind of sense, like you're a lot of like a sense of like firefighting.
Yes,
Right.
very
So
much
it's like constantly firefighting, and then suddenly you got one of your staff having issue. Then after that, another side is like your customer having issue. Then you are like also fronting it. So that like it's just like very hectic, very chaotic kind of state. So finding the order in that chaos, but also not forgetting that why you even start the business is the most important thing. Yeah.
Why you start? So start with why. That's by Simon.
Yeah, that
Sinek.
was why. Yeah. And for us, it was very, for me, like, at least, I saw it very clear that startups didn't have like professional, like very deep, like professional helps. I mean, they can, but the perception for them is they're worried that they're going to pay a lot for it.
Yes, okay.
Yeah. But bridging that, I think, was the gap I thought I can fill. So that was the value I know that, hey, I can put up to the market.
Okay.
Yeah. Then at the start, when I did it, I did some cases like pro bono, like it's just really like, let me help you to understand what you're getting yourself into, right?
Sure.
Like if there was investment coming to talk to you and stuff like that, then I found that the founders don't know what they are looking into. Like how do I even, like what's the structure? I don't even have a base, right? I don't even know what to do when, like say the investment come in, then what are the things I need to close, right? Settle and whatever lah. So I know that this is where company secretary can come in.
Okay.
Yeah, because the first thing in our line, other than setting up company, is dealing with the shares. Oh, we need to issue shares because
yes.
investor come in, then you must issue shares.
Yes.
Give them the share cert, nice, all those stuff, right? This process is something we do so much that this is like the back of the mind. It's like riding a bicycle, right? But then to a business founder, they may not have like went through that before.
Yes.
So that was that spot I found. I said, okay, I'm going to come into that. So like as I scaled the business, holding on to that was a very important thing because I think that was during 2015, 2018. And there was a lot of business that was starting up also. Like, you know, the days where startups are like looking to raise funds.
Oh, yes, yes.
Like a lot of this fear of missing out. Like, hey, am I missing to invest in another Grab or stuff like that or not? You know?
During that era. Okay,
Those era. Yeah.
Okay.
Then there was, of course, there was a lot of hype, right? There's a lot of investors looking into investing. There's a lot of startups that were spinning up also.
Yes.
But then finding the in-between to manage that, like as in like how the startups can close such things and how the investors can understand it right was also like the bridge was very important.
Okay. So I want to circle back into the part whereby you talked about scaling. Right. I imagine that because when you first started out, your business, you were one person or you had a partner when you first started out?
No, just
was a
myself,
solo
but
one,
with one secretary, that's it.
Okay, so you yourself and one secretary.
Yeah.
So where was the changing point when things started to scale and how do you do it?
I actually the starting point, I got this advice from this, like I would say I see him as a mentor at this point also. This guy came from like BCG, you know, he does advisory and stuff. This advice actually sort of stick to me for a long time, even now. So when people ask me if I want to start a business, then what do you need like to start a business, especially let's say in consulting and stuff like that, you need two type of person, right? One as a founder, you will need someone that is technically strong.
Okay.
So it's a technical person. So let's say in the industry, in corporate secretarial, you need a very good company secretary also. You cannot do it all by yourself.
Yes.
So technically strong and handling the customer's problem, all this, the front end per se.
Okay, so a person for the tech back end.
Not even tech.
Not tech.
So
The technical.
yes.
Technical, yes, sorry. Yes. So technical person back end and a front end.
So that's
sales person.
So that is a front end person actually.
Yes.
In a sense,
Okay.
right? Dealing with the customer and solving and serving, like, right? Then you need a back end person. Actually, that back end person is a HR person. So this advice is very interesting because initially I thought, we really very tight budget and all this.
Yes.
You still want to hire a HR man at early stage.
Yeah.
How is that possible? Like I won't see the ROI lah, you know. Kind of
Yes,
thing.
I agree.
But actually it worked out for me. So when I was starting to scale up, it was so it's like a trinity, right? So there's only three of us. I'm the one. Actually, I'm the sales. So like founders should be the sales. Like don't you say, right?
Yes, I think that makes sense. Yes.
You got the vision. You got the push.
Yes.
Then my the technical person, the company secretary, right, is holding the fort, right? Making sure that the things are all done. Like customer is happy. Keep the customer happy. Yeah.
Yes.
Then the back end, the HR, was the one that was like managing the relationship between the three of us. At the same time, like keeping a good lookout as the business is growing, right? Who to bring in, how to take care of them, how to retain them.
Okay. So
The power trinity.
so you got the HR person as early as
You start.
like almost like the third person lah.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah.
So okay, because that got me thinking. Because a lot of like what you mentioned earlier, a lot of companies don't go the HR route until like, I got a few
Maybe
staff
5,
already.
6, 7.
Then I cannot jaga their leave anymore. Let's say fuck lah. Let me just get the HR person to do that kind of thing, right? So what I'm hearing is that you got the HR person early so that he or she can start the scaling process.
That's right.
Early. But how do you even manage? Yeah, like what you say, the ROI. How do you justify that? You know, how do you get there? Because imagine like for example this bar. You know, every day, every month we are like scraping through enough to pay everything. Then now I tell the business people, tell my shareholders, say, hey guys, I need a HR person. Then they'll be like, bro,
they'll scold you.
没有赚钱 you want to get a HR person to hire more for what? You know, so bring me through. What were your thoughts during that period?
I mean, of course, like I say, even at the start, also I was like, this advice is sure, bro, you know, kind of thing. Then, but I took the leap of faith, right? So it's just hire first. right? Anyway, I also need a secretary, right? Anyway, I also need help to take care of like
Okay, like a
certain
PA
things,
lah, like a
like a
PA.
PA. But at
Okay.
the same time, need to chase bill all this. I get the HR do also lah. Just you gotta push that person harder, right?
Okay.
To sort of cover the cost, it make sense of it.
Okay.
But now I see the returns actually came very like long in that sense as you scale.
It's a late game
Then
thing.
it's a
Okay.
late game thing. Yeah, you have to build up, right? Like you at the start, it's really not much. Yeah, but as you go along, then it becomes like a foundation to the business. It's like like whoever come in actually knows that there's a HR. So in the end, what the key point of this is, especially in the consulting, but I would say, okay, don't just cap it to consulting, right? Like if you talk about any business, right?
Yes.
How you got to make it work? First, you got to make sure relationship works.
Yes, of course.
Sort it well, very clear, right? And the HR person is, you're going to have a HR person because you cannot be the business owner all the time coming out and say HR things like that. Also.
Okay, what do you mean? I'm interested in that. What do you mean?
So that means you got to get the right person in that role to go and do what they're supposed to do.
Sure.
Because as like say, you can call it a CEO, a founder, managing partner, or whatever. You're like the right?
Okay,
so
yes,
you got to
yes.
rubber band this whole thing together.
Uh-huh.
But if you don't even have someone in charge of people, then do you think that your people would think that they are taken care of?
Okay, when
Because
you
you're so
say
busy,
when you say
you know.
in charge of people, what do you mean by in charge of people?
Taking care of their needs.
Taking care of their needs within a company lah.
Within company.
So maybe like
Within business,
their leave, their MCs.
Still got more than that.
Okay, okay,
Basic
yes.
is leave, MCs.
Yes.
Also their aspiration. Also what do they, this weekend they feel like eating what?
Oh.
Right? What is their plan for the weekend? Although we don't want to prop too much, but it's more of like well-being question, right? At the same time also like, over the whole month of you doing the work, how are you feeling now?
Oh wow.
That kind. It started very early.
Okay, this is a big news to me actually. You know, this is something that I can see the logic and the beauty behind this, because how I see this is that when you get the HR person in as early as, when you start up the company, when you start the company, right? So you start off with the end in mind, correct? Because I know that I will need people. So I need a person to in charge of the people. Maybe that's why a lot of businesses in Singapore actually struggle to scale.
Yeah.
Because they don't have that HR part, or the HR part does not come early enough. Then people eventually come to a point whereby I am not able to scale because everything is just on my shoulders and it's very hard for me to pass it on to someone else. Right? I always had this idea that maybe sometimes I want to get something done, I might as well do it myself.
Yeah.
Because that's the fastest way I can get it done. And I know that it will be done right. You get what I mean? Do you have this kind of moments where you think that, hey, shit lah, this one, bro, okay, just let me do it. I'll do it better. I don't need to waste so much time because I asked the other person to do. Then he will come back to me with something. I have to vet the damn thing. And then I throw it back to the person. And then it goes 3-4 rounds before it can be passed to the client. Do you have that kind of experience?
I mean, if I say no, it's a liar for sure. Everyone go through that. In fact, 10 years down the road now, like since 2015, right? I still have that.
Oh,
sometimes
okay.
You can have like maybe about like 15, 16 of people like working with you and you still face that. Right?
Okay.
So the whole thing is about like at the early stage, you'll be looking at it like investing.
Sure.
Right? So you have to reinvest back to the people, making sure that someone is taking care of them.
Yes.
But as it goes later, then it's more about like discipline. So that means your own discipline to yourself. Like say, don't cross the line. Let them feel. Let them try.
Yes.
And if they fail already, they come back to you. You're their safety net, the kind.
Yes.
But that is so hard. Even now, I'm still struggling.
It's a very hard thing for founders to do that because end of the day, sometimes the businesses are their babies.
Yes.
Right? And then you'll be like, hey bro, I don't want things to fuck up. But I did realize that the only way to actually grow the business is to let the stuff screw it up lah.
Correct.
And then you come and save the day. Hopefully you don't have to.
Yeah.
Right? But when it's faster when things cock up on the staff's end. Right? And the company would grow after that.
Yeah.
Rather than it's always you having to do everything. That's where the scaling stops. But at the back of everybody's mind, right, when they do that, their first thought is that, what if this person messes up so big
Yeah.
that my company ceases to exist anymore.
Wow.
You know, there is always this thought at the end of the day, everyone just scared of them. Right. But I think this is all my own revelations in a sense, is that when you start a business, you have to play to win. You don't play to not lose.
That's right.
Right. Because when you don't allow the staff to take ownership and take control of all the kind of stuff, you're playing not to win. You're just playing not to lose.
Yeah.
It's different from winning.
Love it. Yeah.
Right. So that's only came to me on the later stage of my business career and stuff like that. That's why I'm still a struggling business owner as much as I want to succeed. But everyone's trying their best. So okay, that's great. Let's move on to another question. So we talked about your struggles and all the kind of stuff like that. Okay, do you want to talk about your first client? What was your first impression? Who was your first client, and then how did you feel when you clinched the client? I remember my first one. It was screwed up, but please.
I think we all have that, because I'm trying to recall.
Okay.
Nobody like to recall bad days, right?
Oh yes. Yeah. But it was an important step in the whole journey, right?
Correct. It's a sort of like a wake up call.
Yeah, very much so. Yes.
What you have ideally, and then what you have like real life stuff.
Yes.
Right. First one. I don't know if I have to count the pro bono one, right? Those that I help.
Okay, I think pro bonos no lah, because you don't have the clients wouldn't be they don't have a certain expectation to the work. Of course, naturally it will be good, but then they won't penalize you as hard. They're not as like, hey bro, I pay you to do this, you cannot do this.
True.
So they are not that hard. Yeah. Tell me about the first paying client they had, and what was the experience they had?
I remember a lot of convincing.
Okay.
So actually maybe position it like my first rejection will be the even interesting one, right?
Okay, yes.
The first rejection was I remember this client was referred by another person, like another friend or something like that, right? And he reached out, and then we talked, and then like we were texting and stuff. We spoke on the phone also. Say, hey, seems like you know your stuff, great, So then we say, why not meet up? Because since we are like around the area, maybe let's meet in CBD and stuff like that.
Yes.
And so I went, and then I meet him at I remember he was in Soup Spoon. Yeah.
Oh wow.
I don't know, not even cafe,
Okay. Yes.
And then I met him up, and that time I was 27, 28 like that.
Okay.
So I might sound more mature than I look, probably. Right?
Yes.
So I was like in my sort of office wear, but I remember I'm not combing up my hair like now, right? And when he saw me, I can tell from his body language and his like reaction, like his facial expression was like, what?
So young.
So young.
Yes.
So when I sat down and then, like say, hey, hi, nice to meet you, like finally face to the name and stuff like that. I say, and then he's like, first question he asked me is, how are you?
Oh my God. Okay.
Like not like nice like, hey bro, you look young, how are you?
Oh, yes. They doubt your capabilities.
Not
right?
like that.
Yes. Okay.
It's not like, it's more with like right? Like how are you?
Slightly worried.
Yes. Yeah, because like we were almost like closing, right?
Mm-hmm.
On the scope and all this, but then you look too young to handle my things, kind of.
Okay.
Because the next thing came was like, oh, where do you study? Have you graduated?
Oh wow, then it becomes an integration.
Oh gosh. Like, because for me, I don't want to be questioned on like our integrity.
On your capabilities, right?
More than that, it's integrity. I'm not like calling you.
I'm not trying to pull a fast one. Okay.
Not to surprise you. But it's just that time was that look lah. I think it's because also very fresh. People can smell, oh, you're a very fresh business owner. Yeah. To overcome that was a thing, because that left a quite impression to me, because after that we left, right? He called off the thing.
Oh wow! He actually called off the deal after he saw
just
you.
like, it's okay, After seeing me, so I got like shocked, of course, right? But at the same time, I learned from that. Oh, then it's very important,
dress a bit older.
Yeah, no, really, that's dress a bit older. Look like you're into that, right? Even if it's like even if you look and maybe you even smell younger, like you're like out just from uni, that kind of sense, right?
Yes.
You're gonna look like the part, That's the thing.
Okay.
Yeah. So I learned that hard also.
So dressing is important.
Dressing, the way you talk, the way you know that my staff nowadays say, boss got this aura, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
that
yes.
sense, right? Before I come to office, do you know I'm coming? I don't know how to explain that also. Like sometimes it's not even a physical presence or even my footstep. It's not that. It's
Okay.
a sense.
Okay.
Yeah, that sort of like presence, they call it, right?
Yes. They got
I think
your,
that
your
is-
aura, your,
Correct.
your energy, lah, I would say.
Yeah. But it's a built up game, lah. So slowly built up and then see how it goes.
Okay, that's fun. Okay. So let me ask you something weird. All this, I have a lot of weird questions that I've written up. If so we are all about registering a business and all that kind of stuff like that. If one day aliens landed in Singapore and they needed help registering a business, what would be the first thing you would tell them? Assuming you know their language, we're talking about.
Yeah.
Assuming we know their language.
Next advanced technology is
Yes.
the finger touch. Like, I can understand what you're looking for.
So what would be the first thing you would tell them?
Wow, this is a really blow out of water kind of question.
It's very fun.
Yeah, fun.
Okay, let me give you a bit of context. Okay. So the aliens have come from Mars,
Yeah.
right? They are here. Maybe they would like to trade some sort of resources that they can't find on Mars.
Yeah.
Okay. So they are here. So I'm just coming up with stuff now. Basically, I'm like the brand ambassador for the aliens.
Yeah.
So we have come from Mars. We noticed that chickens were quite a delicacy for the Martians. It's quite impossible for us to rear the chickens there, right? But we only need the chicken's butt, right? Or we only need the feathers also.
Oh.
So how, they wanted to set up a company here
Yeah.
to handle, they are not too sure whether they want to raise the chicken themselves or they want to just do exporting. What will you tell them?
Honestly, the first step they feel already there.
Okay, why is that? Why is that so?
KYC, I cannot.
Don't come to Earth.
Cannot
Wrong
do
place.
KYC. I cannot check them. I don't have database to check them.
Okay. If say the KYC is handled by Elon Musk, so naturally Martians will pass, right?
Wow.
Assuming. Okay, then what will be the next step?
If let's say they have a certain background and all this written, then they are legitimized here. First, they must be like legitimized as a certain citizen somewhere. Let's say given that those were met, right?
Sure.
Then it's a different player also, of course. Then if they are recognized as like so-called individual,
Okay.
then so imagine they got passport, all this also.
Okay.
And
Yes.
KYC done. Then the thing is probably, I mean, for the fun of it is how do you intend to structure your business?
How do you intend to structure your business?
Any thought, like maybe you will have more Martians investor, who knows? Begin with the end in mind, right? Yeah.
Yes.
But hopefully not our end lah. Yeah,
Okay,
our end
yes.
is jialat already lah.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
So when you that's interesting. So when you said hopefully they have a business structure in mind.
Yes.
So what do you mean by that?
So this is what I advocate for. I was saying, what we call like governance, right?
Okay.
Governance sounds sometimes also when I see my students also I can tell them
They cringe,
"Oh,
right?
wow." Like, is it like very chim? I don't know what is this about. But actually, it's some form of a mix of few things,
Sure.
right? There's a certain structure towards a certain goal you wish to reach lah, basically. So there's something like, I hope to IPO. Okay, then there's a structure already. There's an end goal in mind.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's just like how that imagine that to look like. And so basically governance is basically what you need to build to reach there. The policies lah, the base lah, the practices lah, all those stuff.
So it's kind of like, is it like kind of like a business plan, so to speak?
Not exactly to spell the plan, but we call it like the base structure to make it work.
Okay, so like say for example, this bar, this Brooklyn bar, what would be a sound business structure to have for a bar?
So first thing, of course, most important thing is you need to know what's the outcome you want from the bar. Let's say it could be 5 years time I want to sell it.
Okay.
Then there's there's an end in mind, right? So
Yes.
we start with that, right? Then say for example, I want to sell it for like few $1 million and stuff.
Sure.
Okay. Then you go backwards and then we need to start questioning, okay, do you have like policies for your staff that make sure that you can maybe meet like certain retention of your staff?
Okay.
So you have to make some assumption, of course, right?
Yes, of course, yes.
Whether this, like if the turnover is too much, then it will cause a lot of problem for you also, right?
Yes.
That's one thing. Or like how do you, like for customers that come in, what are the rules? Things like that, right? What are the rules like? Forget about the marketing and all this is a separate topic, huh?
Okay.
But like the base of you operating the business is what we call like governance.
Okay. So then legacy helps to consult companies on that. Even like say, one day I were to come to you, I don't have a business, maybe I'm a working professional and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Right. I come to you and say that, hey bro, I got this idea. I want to sell, special LED colored shoelaces. I'm just throwing ideas out my head. Right? And
good idea.
my work, but who knows? Who knows, right? So I want to sell these LED colored shoelaces.
Yeah.
You heard it first here at TalkShop. Okay.
You will see here.
All the registration, everything. Okay. So if like say I want to do that, I come to you, say, okay, hey Dennis, I want to I have this business idea of LED. Okay, assuming that my market research is sound, people want this stuff, right? And then I say, I probably have an initial design. I have found a manufacturer to work, and then they have already sent a sample down. Maybe that's my initial works lah. And then after that, legacy is able to help them in terms of like to plan out the business for the next few years.
Yeah.
Is that what you guys can do?
Yes. So I mean along the line, because other than so the most important thing is to make sure corporate compliance is in place, right? So that's what we do. But that is like the base. That's the easy part, right? Kicking off from there, I also will kepo lah. I'm going to ask about like, hey, what's your plan for the business? Because before they register, I always ask, why do you want to register a company?
Oh, that's an interesting question.
Just ask, right? Then usually it comes to three main reasons lah. Number one, I got customer I need to sign.
Sure.
Right. Number two, I got investor. I want to put money.
Okay.
Number three, try. Don't know. Just
I
try
think
lah.
most of people will be want to try or the first one lah.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I mean, even if it's try, like say, got potential collaboration, all this, so I need the entity first to run. Okay, no problem. I mean, you can kickstart from that. At least that is a goal to me. So it's very important to, like, purpose of the vehicle is very important to identify.
Okay.
But then, of course, we will talk about like longevity of the business itself. Is the end goal, that if you have actually thought about it now. Even if you don't want to do it, like say, I don't want to sell the business, but you should have a plan.
So what I'm hearing is that it's very important to have a goal in the end, like maybe 5-10 years kind of thing.
Everyone should have that.
It's very important to have that. Because to build something to sell it versus build something to continue on, it's a different game plan altogether.
Yes.
Right from the get-go.
Correct.
Okay. And you also talked about a bit on the compliances. Like, is it more like a company kind of thing, or is it like a government law kind of thing?
It's more, it's both lah. Of course, company filings, right? Those are basic, right? So every year you make sure you file.
What you need to do lah without getting into trouble.
Right.
Okay.
Make sure you file. Right? Make sure you stay, like, whatever you need to submit, like, annually.
IRAS, all that kind of stuff, GST.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. We advise them. We just make sure that's supposed to be taken care of. Then it's taken off from you.
So I don't need to worry about all these kind of things.
Right. But you still have to, work with us to make sure that everything is in place.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is there anything that business owners need to take note of in terms of like these kind of compliances? Like something that slips out of people's minds a lot of times.
This is an interesting one, right? The most basic about it is like the whole point of appointing a third party like us, right? Or anyone else, right? Most important thing is what is their role. If they don't remind you, then they are not doing your job. Like they are not doing their job to help you, So I think that's very clear cut, right? But even more so, there are business owners that will try to do it themselves.
Yes, to save costs lah.
Save costs, yeah. But let's say if you are like accountant, so you are like familiar with this deadline.
Yes,
before,
okay, fair.
Can but the thing is, for the cost of it is less like pain. less headache also. And you should be focused on building a business,
Oh, that's true.
right? Instead of
Okay.
like looking, the deadlines and all, then you get all stressed up, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, that should be taken care by like someone else, right? So unless you can manage it yourself, like you're familiar with it and then you have staff to go and do it, fine. If not, then you should get like a third party.
Because everyone should know their role, and then so that the company can move on to bigger things.
Correct. The most important thing, you're a business founder, then you focus on building a business. Not those deadlines and stuff like deadlines. You should know, of course, but then
Yes.
at least then you have like third parties chasing you, right? Then it's their obligation, to make sure you're taken care of.
Yes.
That's the whole point.
Okay, Dennis, I do know that for a company like yours, right, is personal branding very important? What do you think about that?
I mean, given our size, right, we have about 10 plus of us, right? It's very important. Like, branding is very important, right? Like personal branding also very, like it brings out like this sort of like what's your special sauce, in a sense, right? I feel it's regardless of size even. That's the thing. Like it can be you are only like 1 or 2%, right? And personal branding really starts from there because at the end of the day, especially if you're like smaller, right? People are buying into you.
Yes, that I will agree. But would that be a problem? Because if, like, say, I were to be building a company,
Yes.
right, and I put too much emphasis on personal branding, so people only come for me, and suddenly the company itself is nothing without the the person behind the company. So would that be a problem?
Love it. I mean, this is a good question, right?
This is what I think about every day.
Yeah, I ponder about this before, but then again, I'm also quite blessed that I have people talking to me, right? And then I came to realize one thing also. I don't think there's ever a time that you have too much personal branding on a business. Personal branding, it's a bit like it's a dilemma in itself.
Yes, it is.
It's not a dilemma because
It's not.
we think of it as a dilemma, but there's
Go
no
on.
such things as called too much personal branding on a business.
Too much personal branding on the business.
So because the way I look at it is, in fact, you become lesser when you have more people doing so my team, right?
Yes.
I have another 2 more partners.
Yes.
That is doing their like videos, those
Their own personal
branding.
branding, okay.
Yeah. So they really starting to run that, right? And that brought me to realize, I always thought also like, is it like if I do too much like branding videos and stuff for myself,
Then people come for you.
then people come only for me.
Yes.
Then my business cannot scale.
Yes.
But that's overthinking, I feel.
So we were talking about the insights. So we talked about the insights in your industry.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe let's talk a little bit more of what you have seen so far. Like what is arising as you get more companies coming to you to set up shop, basically, right? What are any trends do you notice? Like what is picking up, what is slowing down, what companies are closing, that kind of stuff.
I mean, for my side, I guess because we are very clear who we want, right? So we are into certain niches also, right?
Okay.
If I look at it, let's just say tech space wise, right? Software play SaaS is up and is coming back. It's a good thing, right? But SaaS in a way coming back, not just in, I would say like those areas that we always think like e-commerce and all this is with a little bit of different play where people actually stack AI into it. So I feel like AI is like how I look at it, AI is like a new game. Like it's a reset.
It's a reset only on SaaS or like on the industry,
Across.
everything.
It's just everything is like affected, right?
Okay.
So in that sense, but then I like what it brings is also is creating opportunities
Yes,
for disruption to happen, right?
correct.
So this is sort of like, I look at it like a way where you see like, those winners that came from like a decade ago, right? Is being challenged also. They have to figure also, how do I survive? How do I move up or whatever, or move side way or stuff like that. But these new players come in Then of course with the if with AI, it also like the whole way of looking at workflow change, right?
Yes.
To challenge this status quo, and to me, it's just means opportunity, right? So the market, it will go around, and then people get better things out of things. That's how I look at it.
I see AI like back in the days where cameras use film.
Yes.
Right. Singapore, we call it film. We use the film, right? Then we shoot on the film.
Yeah.
So when the digitizations of the film came about, of course, naturally it caused a disruption. People were a little bit hesitant, saying that digital cannot do this, cannot do that. But eventually technology does catch up. Right. And nowadays nobody even uses the initial digital cameras anymore. It's the new mirrorless ones, right?
Yeah.
So I do see AI as like the digitalization of certain things.
Yeah.
Right. So naturally some jobs will fall off, but it would end up creating a lot more, than what it will take away.
Yeah.
That's how I see it.
Yeah.
So would you recommend somebody to take up AI as their core of their business?
I mean, why not? If that is, but I mean, very important is that if AI as a core, you still have to remember what are you trying to serve? What's the value? So it must be AI on something, ma.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's not just AI, unless you're talking about writing the
coding
language.
part lah.
Then that's a different thing.
Yes.
That I still actually I mean I have startups I mentor, right? It's into that. I sometimes don't get it. I still don't get it. Yeah.
It's a different world altogether.
Quite
yes.
a learning curve for me also.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
But like if you talk about AI, must be onto something lah, right? It could be I don't know, AI on e-commerce, AI on workflow, AI. I mean, you have to have on something.
Okay.
Yeah.
I understand that. Okay, so folks, if you're all into anything AI, please tag it onto something.
Yeah.
All right. If you're onto SaaS from Dennis, you can try it out.
Yeah.
Okay. So do take the leap of faith if you have thought about doing a business in that in regard. Okay. So Dennis, the last question that I have for you to link up to our next speaker is, if you could change your business to another industry altogether, what would it be?
Wow, that is a good question.
Very
Tough question.
You everything. You all the corporate stuff. You say, I don't want to do CorpSec. Maybe I want to be a games developer, or I want to be a fashion,
I tried a lot of things before, so it's come to
So
think
if you
about
could, change it to something successful one. Change it. Just change the industry.
I'm always curious about investment because I do a bit of that. Like I invest in startups also.
Okay.
Right? But like I know it's not so easy.
Yes.
Right? But that could be my next muse, I guess.
Okay. So like when you
It's a
say
new
investment,
challenge.
not like VC. Is it VC?
I think it's VC.
It's not like VC stuff.
Something like that. But
Okay.
I don't know. It's not fair to just structure it as VC could be venture building, venture studio. There's so many names to it, right?
Yes.
So figuring that could be the next thing to work on.
Okay.
Yeah.
So quite cool. Thank you so much, Dennis, for being part of TalkShop today. So once again, we'll have all his socials linked into the description below. That's where you can find Dennis. If your company needs help in terms of like CorpSec services or consulting, definitely I learned a lot from Dennis today. So thank you very much for that.
You're welcome.
If you need him, please contact him, or you can contact us to reach out to him. Thank you so much, Dennis.
Thank you, Jay, for having me here.
No problem.
Yeah.
Thank you, bro.
Okay.